Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat datang tuan-tuan kepada channel saya, channel raz-anwar di YouTube. Ya, sebelum apa-apa tuan-tuan jangan lupa ya nak subscribe saya punya channel. Jadi pada kali ini tuan-tuan, saya sebenarnya nak buat something different lah. Selalu kita ada buat video-video ride. Jadi kali ini saya akan buat satu episod, dan insya-Allah beberapa episod tentang Sembang Otai. Jadi Sembang Otai ni sebenarnya adalah saya akan temu bual ya Otai BMW yang ada di sekitar Klang Valley ni. Jadi mereka ni ramai. Mereka ni dulu pada masa 80-an, 90-an mula dengan motor kecil. Motor kecil RXS, RXZ dan sebagainya, dan kemudian asal umur tu meningkat, mereka menukar kepada adventure sport touring ataupun adventure bike ya. Jadi pada kali ini, episod kali ini, insya-Allah kita ada tetamu yang sangat-sangat istimewa bagi saya. Kerana beliau ni sebenarnya adalah orang yang pertama memiliki motosikal BMW touring, iaitu pada ketika itu di masa tahun 80-an adalah R1200Gs. Ya, R1200Gs. Dan motosikal ini adalah predecessor kepada motor R1200Gs, 1250Gs hinggalah sekarang. Jadi Otai ni, dia ni saya tengok sebagai part of the history of the BMW riding in Malaysia, as well as dia ni sebagai perintis dalam arena pemotoran BMW di Malaysia. Sebab dia beli motor ni, tak salah saya, sekitar tahun 80-an, dan BMW hanya masuk ke Malaysia sekitar tahun 1995. So he was really ahead of time by 10 years. Jadi tuan-tuan, sila tunggu. Dan tetamu kita pada hari ini adalah saudara Mas Kamal Han yang berasal daripada negeri Hang Tuah dan kini menetap di Rawang. Jadi sama-sama kita dengar perbualan saya dengan dia, dan mungkin ada perkara yang dia boleh kongsi dengan kita tentang pengalaman dia memiliki motor BMW ini. Jadi tanpa melengah masa, terus saya akan ke rumah beliau untuk bertemu bual dengannya. Sekian, terima kasih. Ya, jangan lupa tunggu dan jangan lupa subscribe. Tekan loceng subscribe. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes.
Waalaikumsalam.
Kita dah sampai ke rumah Brother Mas. I panggil brother boleh ya?
Yes,
salam. So this is Brother Mas Kamal, orang yang pertama memiliki motor BMW Adventure R80Gs di Malaysia. Okay, bro.
Yes, sir.
Today, I think kita nak tahu sikit lah some history about R80Gs, your ownership, how do you get it. I think kita kena faham, I dah berkawan you dah lama. You ni, most of your sibling ni semua gila motor. You know, from your elder brother, you know. So, who actually influence you on riding a bike?
Maybe the influence was from my father. Now, he's known as Ali Norton in my kampung. He had a Norton that was when he was very young, but unfortunately we lost him when he was just 37 years old. But it has sort of impacted us when it comes to motorbikes. Sampai besar, it's always with us that we have to own bikes. We have to sort of live up to that name, Ali Norton.
Okay.
Yes. So when I was in Form 4, my mother bought me a CB200, 1974. That's right. And from then on, we had bikes, and it was after that it was passed on to my younger brothers, and all of us since that day had bikes. Yes. So Fadil had bikes, Amir had bikes, hubby still have bikes. So that was how it started actually.
So it seems that motosikal ni is in your family punya blood lah, you know.
Sort of
lah, you know. I mean, okay, then we come back to this the main story, yeah. You know, at that time this R1200Gs ni, you know, sorry lah bro, I have to say lah, R80 is one ugly bike lah, you know. It's like dia macam kacukkan unta dengan kuda lah, you know. They come out with R80Gs. So macam mana you boleh beli tu? So you boleh cerita sikit kat kita orang, how did you manage to get the bike? Number one. Number two, why BMW? Because at that time most of KL punya budak-budak ni, dia orang main motor Jepun, you know. True. All these high powered bike lah, you know, like Suzuki 1100 Katana dan sebagainya lah. So cuba cerita sikit kenapa BMW dan macam mana you dapat motor tu.
Okay, to be very honest with you, if you had asked me this question in 1988, I wouldn't have had the slightest inkling of what an R80Gs is. Okay. I didn't even know that the bike I ended up with was an R80Gs. It was called an R80Gs. It's such an ugly bike. I have to buy the bike because I love the badge, because it's a BMW.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Okay. But honestly, I didn't know it was an R80Gs until friends tell me there is an R80Gs. There was this Swiss guy who was traveling, and he had problems with the bike. So he had to send the bike for repair. That was in cycle stop then. He dismantled the whole bike, and he didn't have money for the repair. So what we did was we offered him to buy the bike of him, but the problem was the AP.
Okay.
You have to have the AP to get the bike registered locally. So we got him to go to the Ministry of Trade, and he managed to get an AP for himself to sell off the bike. That was how I ended up with that ugly thing. Okay. It's so ugly, but I love the bike.
How much did you pay for it? Berapa beli?
I think it was 18,000 then.
18?
I think it was 18,000, yes.
Okay.
It was just 18,000 then.
So the original bike is with a German plate number?
Swiss plate number. Because in Switzerland, they won't allow you to have anything more than 800cc then. Okay. I don't know about it now, but in 1988, maximum capacity for motorcycle was 800cc because of the environmental impact. Control that they have in Switzerland.
Okay. So the moment you beli motor tu, so macam mana you rasa? Because previously you bawa Honda CB, and suddenly tiba-tiba you dapat ni Continental punya bike ni. So apa dia punya different lah?
I had so many laughs. Okay, people were laughing at me. People were laughing at me because they called the bike a postman's bike because it had two ugly aluminium boxes. It's handmade. It's not like the ones you buy today aftermarket. No, it's handmade. It's really square, and it's so very ugly. And my grandchildren will say it's super ugly. But the performance of the bike, I love the bike. Like I said, I just love the bike.
Okay. Yeah. So your kawan-kawan semua kutuk lah. Kau lah kutuk kau lah.
Of course lah. It was the joke of the town lah. You know, everybody was laughing at me lah. Dengan tong dia yang hudo, dengan motor dia, it looks ugly. It's just nothing to look at lah. Just nothing to look at.
But was it really yang motor tu adalah GS yang pertama di Kuala Lumpur?
I believe so, because nobody has ever heard of this bike. Nobody has seen this bike. Memang semua orang tengok, semua orang tanya, motor apa ni? Motor apa yang pelik sangat ni? Memang pelik. Every time you start the bike, it tends to lean to the right. When you accelerate, it leans to the right, and then it sounds like a sugarcane machine.
Okey. Mesin tebu lah kan, mesin tebu.
Mesin tebu, tuk. And it's, I don't know, I just don't know. Sometimes it baffles me as to why I buy the bike.
Berapa jauh bro Mas Kamal bawa?
Oh, I've been to Phuket on the bike. I've been to Koh Samui on the bike. I've been to Hat Yai so many times on the bike. Yeah, so many times.
Okay, satu lagi yang I nak tanya ni, because you dibawa masuk BMW, you bukan bawa masuk. You ride the BMW bike.
Yeah.
And at that time, I think Auto Bavaria pun tak ada lagi. So where did you service your bike actually?
The bike is bulletproof. It's got no problems. One day I rode to Hat Yai. Friend of mine by the name of Ghazi keep asking me to check the lubrication oil for the bike. I will always tell him, yeah, it has enough. But one day we decided to really check, and there was nothing inside. I was riding the bike without lubrication oil until Hat Yai. So it's bulletproof. I don't remember of having any problems with the bike, not at all, except for tire change. Okay. Other than that, no, nothing at all.
So you tak pernah tukar pelak, tak pernah apa tu semua? Tukar minyak hitam siapa mekanik mana
itu?
Oh,
minyak hitam, yes. Motorcycle sales center does that. Spark plugs, yes. Yes, motorcycle sales center. Other than that, no. Clutch, no problem, nothing at all.
Spare part macam mana? Senang dapat?
No problem.
No problem,
No spare parts. I don't need spare parts.
Actually, how long do you use the bike?
I had the bike for, I think at least 6-7 years.
Ui, lama.
At least 6-7 years. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Until I bought a K100,
which is also a
BMW.
A BMW.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So far dah berapa banyak BMW you pakai ni?
Two.
Oh, dua?
Two. One K100, the other one is the R80. Sorry, three. R80, R100 and the K100.
Okay, K100. Okay. Good. Apa nama? So what I mean, you really think you fikir bike tu memang special at that time lah, compared to Japanese bike lah? Because
if I have the chance today, I'll buy the bike back, because it's still a beautiful bike. It serves its purpose, no problems, bulletproof, and I go anywhere I want with the bike.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Actually, tuan-tuan, R1200Gs ni adalah pemenang Paris-Dakar Rally.
That time.
Paris-Dakar Rally dia adalah champion. Saya ingat tahun 87, 86.
Yes.
Okay bro. Sekarang we want to know, when did you use the bike for like lebih 7 tahun kan?
Yes.
And then what makes you want to sell the bike?
That's a very difficult question to answer. Now, what happened was my daughter had to go and further her studies in Australia. So we didn't get scholarship for her. So I had to sell a few of my things, my loves.
Okay.
just to finance. Yeah, it was more for to finance her education actually. So I had to sell off the bikes. Yeah, it was a sad day, but I had to do it then.
So Malaysia kat lain beli?
Malaysia. Dah arwah dah pun dah. David nama dia.
Okay.
David. And I still see the bike once in a while whenever there is an antique bike show. It has gone into the antique bike show. Somehow it has made its way there.
Okay, bro. Actually, what's the registration number of the bike?
BCW 1000.
Oh, nice. Cantik. Sayang jual?
Sayang.
Okay, Mas. I think we somewhere dah nak habis lah. Reach the end of the day. What would be your advice to young riders now that because you have actually used that bike for touring, is it worth it to actually own a BMW, especially
the best investment.
the best
The
investment.
best investment, an RGS. Buy a GS.
Buy a GS
Buy a
lah.
GS.
Marah ni orang-orang.
I'm sorry,
But now you're riding a KTM. Dia bawa KTM sekarang ni.
unfortunately I can't afford a GS. It is by courtesy of my brother.
Okay,
But the GS is the bike.
The bike,
If
yeah.
at all you want to enjoy riding, the bike is the GS. Yeah, always the GS. You won't go wrong.
Okey tuan-tuan, itu dia kita punya sembang-sembang Otai dengan Mas Kamal ya. Jadi tuan-tuan dah dengar tadi pengalaman beliau, rahsia beliau dan sebagainya, dan hopefully tuan-tuan enjoy episod kali ini. So bro Mas, thank you so much for your time, and hopefully you get another GS.
GS rider.
Alright. So jangan lupa tuan-tuan, Brother Mas Kamal, thank you very much. Jangan lupa subscribe, tekan button. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.